Hello, I'm Damien, and I am Damien, and it's time to, as far as I can tell, heckin' finish Wildermyth. Thus the presumptuous title. We've been going through the Omen Road, slowly making our way closer, learning about this new person who Tia has totally fallen in love with, and all that kind of shit going on. And, yeah. So, I talked a lot. A lot. So we don't have a whole lot left. Not much at all. I should verify how much. Because I realized while I was setting up, I'm not sure if I have enough stuff to theoretically upgrade everyone to tier 3 weapons. We want to verify that to see what we decide to do. And even though I initially was like, I'm going to go here for it, because abilities are good. But yeah, we don't have a lot left. But we also don't know just how much talking is going to happen here, or in the actual finale. Assuming this is a finale, as I assume it is. But in fairness, that could just be a door to the next, like, one more page. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Yeah, so let me just check real quick everyone's weapons. You're at tier 2. You can't have a weapon. You are at tier 3 with your, no, you're at tier 1. The axe is at tier 3, but you don't use the axe, you use the lamp, because it boosts spell damage. So we could get that leveled up a bit more. You're not at tier 3 either. Okay, so we have... I mean, technically I would like to improve Fate Tracer as well, but this is strong enough. I've just been using this with the hopes of, getting the refund of an action point on a stunt. But, yeah. Alright. So yeah, it would probably actually suit me better as much of a cop-out as it is. It would suit me better to go to the Forge. And in doing so, we'll have to deal with the friggin' so many Graven things. I mean, all of them, there are too many things with all of them. That is the least, but they're all really annoying as well. But there's also quote-unquote really hard fights versus not really hard fights. I would love that ability, but yeah, cop out. Cop out for the sake of the Forge on the next one. Yeah, once the mission's constructed and everything. We get carriage. Cool. We could certainly use that. Look at them all. So many. And of course, people are coming in this hurt as well, to one extent or another. So, let's see, friggin' haunt. Yeah, it would actually be more fortuitous for us, as it were, to go over here like that. Oh, that'll just straight up kill you. Can't quite get them. I'll straight up kill you with a stab as well, though. So let's throw the axe at the stump. Stump dead. And then stab. And the haunt is no longer specter stepped. I forgot to swap my weapon. I meant to do that. Oh well. It's fine. So we can... There we go, yeah. Power of the birdhouse. Power of that thing. Splinter salvo. Cool. Interfuse with a rock. I'll kill the Haunt then. Tachibana leveled up to maximum. Ah yes, Wolf Call. Gain more speed. After hitting with a non-swift melee attack, if Tachibana still has actions left, she'll move up to half her speed as a free action. That mostly means if someone is near me at the time. Let's just power Tachibana up. Ba ba da ba. Hoppity hippity hoppity. Interfuse. Oh, I guess we're gonna interfuse with this up here because there's the Gore Lord. Can't quite reach him. That's disappointing. I guess just hang out. Arabia cannot be getting far enough to deal with the Gore Lord. But perhaps Arabia moss cannot be thrown well enough. No. So, Slug Step. There's the Demon. And the Raid Knight. Alrighty. Well, you guys don't realize Tachibana can do whatever Tachibana wants. So we'll start with throwing an axe at you. Now we're out of axes. Windwalk right here. And kill all the darts, hopefully. Alrighty, and with that power, start heading on up this way. Alright, that's another Bone Lance going on. Actually, more damage to throw an axe. Interfuse. Interfuse. Interfusing with the city. Alrighty, Gorelord dead. Interfuse. Now you bounce over there. Arabia move this way. Swap weapon. Throw an axe. So bird dies, but now he's there. However, kill him. Which means Arabia will Thorn Fang power up and kill him. And we're done. Cool, cool. Level up for Calum. Ooh, more of that. But and get that and mingle with what Tia do. But the same will be done with this. Just do that. More protection. So on the route we're going, it's Draven again. Completely changes everything we're doing. Extra health and extra damage. No. Yeah. Oh, I guess we could have gone down here to get the chest still. We had that option still, but no. I forgot to save. But this is what I wanted. Excuse me. Bum. There's a terror bird this time and lots of other big things. Alrighty. Well. I don't want to bring Tia with us. That would be a bit of an issue. Dance to the middle of everyone over here. Destroy you. And start making our way up here. Tia goes hippity hoppity, hippity hoppity. Interfuse with that. Why can't I Lord Dump? Because it only has a range of 2, probably. So let's just hobble you instead. Interfuse. Shark trap. Ah, I'd have ya. It's okay. Maybe it's not going to stay there. I could poison that guy back there too. It's 5 poison. That would kill him. Okay, fine. I'll do that instead of throwing an axe, even though I should have thrown the axe as well. But I'm a fool. Move. Blink. Interfuse with that thing. And hit the storm throat. Rude. Rude. Even more rude. Fucking dodge, Doxy. I guess I do want your weapon to be one of the ones to be upgraded. I'll just hop on over here and get that done right away. Upgrade gear. Become a level 3 Spear of Doom. Heck yeah. There's no one left to bone lynch down there. So just get rid of that Spectre Step. Goka. want to do. Don't want to do that to her. Or Revia can just stab him through it. Interfuse. Interfuse. Ensure you die. Cool. Potency boosting staff. Congratulations on your potency, Revia. Wow. Okay, all of these are extra gains. This is an extra person, so we're going to say no to you. I honestly don't even actually know what's going to show up in the final fight area, if it is a final fight area. It could be a little bit of everything, for all I know. But alrighty, to the forge! And by that I mean blacksmith. A snarl of ribboned crevasses and hills where the gusts groan hot and smell like scorched spices. Sniffle. Tachibana's nostrils give birth to rivers. Reacting to the company, she'd claim more than to the atmosphere. Yeah, I can make it back. Yeah, pack to break the rare chains of the old sky. Snurf, snick. As he seems certain predicting, they have knocked into him again. They've knocked into him again. Netherflare's traveling forge master, Morin. Lay your hands down well and proffer 'em, if you want such a thing. Morin Smelter Glare, Morin the Smithmost. Morin the Earth Traitorous Ock. Ock? No one wants the sky to fall. We aren't so hate-bitten. No one does, eh? Well, then whatever you're needing this for, of course we must do. Me and my hammer and my fire unfree. Just don't you go expecting no charity. Quick. Charity it is. Level 3 on your thing. Heck yeah. Bum. Everyone's got a level 2 armor, level 3 on all of those. We can only get you to level 2 here, but we could spend 2 legacy points to get you to level 3. It does boost spell damage, so that is actually worth it. Because otherwise my thought would be, level up Fate Tracer. I mean, it boosts stunt damage, but it's still not amazing. So yeah, no, let's boost you to level 3 with your lantern wand thing, the long watch lamp. Hickey. And that's all we really need, honestly. I mean, I could fiddle around with what type of armor people are wearing, but I don't care enough. We've been doing okay with what we got. So we're done. They leave the wagon side, wielding wonders only one man could easily have worked. Sniffle. No more than a blattin' bed cart. I don't think so. I am always astounded to see your craft. Chief. You never wanted better than that bow. It has served me well, Morin. I thank you. Quick! Thump. Kalunk, kalink. Okay. You're behaving oddly, you know. Oh. Maui's pretty weird. Do I know the offers you will make me? Yeah. His nose is attuned to the stink opportunity. And, you know, I don't smell it on you right now. Yeah. But then, they've a way. Yes. He begins to pull. Ruckle. Creak. Opportunities, they've a way of coming round again. Quick, yeah. Quaggle. Quinkle. Here, Father, for the final glaze of colours washed off the iron old world. This iron old world. There I'll be the bother with that wanton little heart of yours. Chirk, chumble, wibble, wibble. Good news. There's an affection that is disguised as distaste. You show it to Marn. And while I'm not jealous of, well, I don't think I want you to look at me like that, but still, it does make me want to come flitter around you. I guess like I'm doing right now. I slept well, Tia, but you would not know whether or why. By the way, what's an orc? What is it? The orc was a dumb little bastard of an animal. A low terror in the early ages, a beast bent on badness and stinkery. Hala took it in his arms and combined it with its clay-hearted twin, and so we're given the gentle ox to be our workmate. Yes, so the orcs is really two orcs. One a placid, companionable creature, the other a chaosy and ill-turned stubborn buns. Thank you very much for the implication, Jade. And, hello as well. I never did think much of whether that story was actually true, and you were never meant to. Huzzah. Everyone's fully healed to go into the healing spot. But of course there's a story. I begin to wonder, dear thing, dear Thivalin. Let us imagine something. Imagine you accomplish all you intend, your ambitions are realized. You watch triumphant as the glittering pelt sinks around those dragonly bones. The vast spirit furls, reduced to one tiny opaline egg. What happens then? Do you know what else might collapse in the dragon's final throes? The absence there left, will Ordway fill it? Or will she take up all the yolks and yarns that spill slack on the Shadow Dragon's quaking floor? Will she? Sorry, had to cough. If she does not, or she is unhappy to, or if she but gradually bends down for those burdens, how many mountains and myths will topple without a foundation? What might you give a number? A vague estimate, even. You are far from guessing or considering, I suppose. There's a cosmic price should Netherfaluin shake or shatter. Creation may buckle, and it is not impossible you will die, or even somehow that she... Annihilation may come. It is no small chance. But that would be better than aborting my quest. Annihilation would be? Yes, because if I will not fight to crown her, then I do not deserve to love her. And that would be terrific agony, I suppose, resigning yourself to thinking that. You are young to your feelings, I have said, and I mean that I am old to mine. But I was a girl for all my life's greatest decisions, and in fact, that is the only way I can explain them without wincing. I know that a girl, a child, a boy, thinks death is better than disappointment. But a woman, if she has patience, learns. We learn. Because death, I think you have not really imagined it, Thiva, dear. Call it something grim grey and as annihilation, and I can see why it might seem distant, incomprehensible. But death is easy to understand. Love, you may not yet realize. It begins and it ends. Even a mother's love, a father's love, even a god's. However much comfort you may find in the scent of her feathers, whether she is your sky or your ground, her love is not everything. Your life is. It is everything, Thivaline. It is all possibility, and death replaces that with nothing. So when you talk about Orue's love, her love, it is life to me. It is the entirety of the ambition which has become me. Ah, metamorphosis. Ah, blah. Okay then. An error. Doesn't it seem like an error to you? You're Thrixil originally. Even a guided change can have unintended, ungood results, and may still be undone. Crick. Crick. It may be undone. Perhaps. And yet, would you happily return to how you were, Orufel? A girl again? Would you blithely revert to the unshattered self, she who was you, before the labour of all your cracking and growing? I would not. What is it like to want and to dread? I think you cannot grasp it because it has never escaped you. I will not go back, Orufel, from all and knowing the taste of nothing, to nothing and knowing the taste of all. Well, I suppose it is fun to imagine something so small and corn-like as love. Quit threatens the hills of creation. Truly, a common vegetable, sprouting in unlikely soil, has brought summer to the winter mind, the Thrixil mind, and with it the winds of ruin. It sure is perilous across worlds. It gives you power, gives you power, gives you power. It gives you power, and dooms you to seek power's ends. In any next step, our toes may touch the castle stones. I will no longer be your guide then. The country here feels hardened, lights and colors denser, shadows blacker and more wily. Not wily, wiry. They all can sense journey's end, and it's like an eye open to them. Yeah, that little guy's cute. I like that thing. I like that thing. Gru? Arthur Strood, unmeaty under all his armor. Just well to remind you that home's not coming over the hill. Sometimes I forget we're somewhere else. I hate saying so. It fucking freaks me out a little. Yeah. But at least there's a dance at the end, And that usually means it's a happy story. I guess. The never-before ball. Your hand-wrote invitation, Elthiar. It got us to make you a little gut-struck, right? It's got to make you a little gut-struck, right? Thinking how far it traveled, and that it worked on us. It summoned us here. I didn't know fucking what all it would mean, and how could I have? But I obviously thought the road would be easier than this. Hey, and it's mostly your fault, Tia, remember? It basically made me feel like I'd be a real chicken if I said no. Let's guard these grain sacks. If I said no, let's guard these grain sacks. Don't mind if you do blame me. But do you believe I fooled you? Isn't it more like you let me convince you? You had some reason of your own for this journey, and that was always true. I feel like I could see that in your eyes. It's usually Tia's fault. Hello, Tareth. And yes, they usually are. But Sanji usually deserves it, or whatever it is. I feel like I could see that in your eyes and in your... I feel like I could just see it. I don't know why. Ha! Fine. Maybe. Yeah, I guess I'd have to think I was pretty fucking lunkish. And you were pretty fucking clever. I wasn't going to deny that, with any trace of honesty. Yep. By the way, Revia's face it. The black hole is beautiful. That is where the ball will be. Beautiful, and the citadel will be beautiful. Glyphrix, too. An unforgettable grin. A grandiosity that is subtle somehow. Sneaks in when you're nodding comfortable and quietly unmoors your imagination. You only notice later that a dragon has been here. But none of these sensations now seems enough. Not beautiful enough, not breathtaking enough, not answering to the mighty guests I bring. I know, after all, that it was not really a dance you passed for. It was not really for a dance you passed the veil. I also know that Glyphrix has prepared nothing besides. So it is awkward. Awkward. You all have endured a lot to come here, and I'm hoping you will not be disappointed. Revia's face continued to hurt. Won't be. We won't be. Just this journey has been enough for me, I think. Oh, sorry. And I know I'm only speaking for myself, but all that I've come to realize through this journey we've shared, I think it's a lucky twist that put a normal-born daughter on the path of heroes. With heroes. Whatever happens, I'm okay. In my case, it is a dragon we are speaking of, an ancient being, alive since the first flames when the Hada Rohana wept for Ka Nada, and the Ka's 5 wonderful vessels broke and her children were born a wing. So I can say earnestly and without pause, even my wilder ambitions are to this point well exceeded. But if I'm to meet a dragon, do not worry that will not be enough. That it will not be enough. Yeah. Gryphrix, 5th dragon, Shadow Dragon. Gryphrix, to whom we owe everything. To whom we owe everything. This one made no return to the world this one is from. In this one's place, Revia only sees self growing fainter, and probably nastier, battling the idea, maybe, that Revia's life had gone in such a way. Just an unfair end to a brilliant life. But this one is someone different, yes? And this one does not frighten the Revia anymore, Revia be realizing. This one just makes the Revia jealous, and that, to Revius, is a more productive thing. All the color-thudding universe continues to be. Pulses of heat from a ground flame eddy on their faces. Yeah, this is a pretty good group. What, I mean serious. It just feels good telling you so. This was a very good group to take a road with. Okay. Immediate next story. I'd miss these. Hey, Tachibana? Seems like something you might do. Grab a crystal trophy. If I wanted a trophy, I'd go back and knock out a few wolf's teeth. I mean, true, probably. Tia, see it with me. She turns. Whoosh! A herald wind strikes the dust from their sleeves as the castle at last comes to meet them. The death of our adventure. Distant sounds of living speckle the stillness. A palace for the playful. I remember Captain Onya saying something like that. The Queen's palace was lavish, its walls short, quaint, and pretty, the armories dusty and bare. In my youth, the only battles I was expected to win were fought with words or pranks. Revia's face hurt hearing you talk. This one looks much grander, of course, but I am reminded of Comcourt. Revia's face hurt a little less, maybe? What kind of a strange plots evolve in a place like that? Where a dragon sleeps, betrayal is both dream and nightmare. It's all a lot less tangled than the courts of human legend. How did it ever get built? How did it? It never did. Exactly did. Oh, I mean, the building is eternally incomplete. Ongoing. It is added to, subtracted from, as often as ideas come. As often as the ideas come. Green ideas on grey ideas. Whims heaped on whims. Choices folded into other choices. It is an anthology, a fantasy of innumerable brains, dead and living, though, as you might think, Glyphrix is the chief imaginer and decider, a monarch. Any warnings, Elthia? Before we enter the dragon's lair, before we submit ourselves to its cunning, its teeth, its claws? I think first off, try not to fucking phrase things like quite that way. Warnings? Yes. Yes, there are dire warnings. Dire, and I knew I would have to say them, and yet I found myself delaying, over and over again, choosing to delay. I was given good cause to delay, I think, but still, I am sorry. There are no more delaying I can do, since we are here, and we are friends. And I will not shy any longer from telling you everything. Oh, good. Elthiar makes her accounting, then. Finishes the story of where she went when the expedition was young. She speaks about the nature of the ball. And they will go, for the first time, with a true idea of what to expect. Hooray! I thought it was going to be a full, continual backstory thing going on. But no, we summarized for once. Here we go. Hey, little guy.
Beans are disgusting to eat. Squirrel, squirrel. You disagree? Squirrel. Hey, do you disagree? Squirrel. You roach.
The quills seem heedless as ever, Agar. Agar?
There they are. Good. Reprimand them. They are heeding less than heedless.
Whoa.
They never answer me straight.
Hard to do when you don't share a language.
It is terrible, but Elthiar is worse than terrible.
Naturally.
Elthiar, the Quarrels must know something. I pondered this, and so it's true. There must be something they know. And they hurled it over us, whatever it is. Squirrel.
Shall I report it to the master, then?
Oh, yes. Yes, good idea, the dragon. Promise you will.
It is promised.
Glyphrix berate them this time, or I'll be making gargoyles somewhere else, say.
Have you lived here long?
Think I'd do us right. Hey, you, respond. Beans are disgusting to eat.
Beans are? Beans are best when they're fucking hot and salty. Oh, yeah, kind of like people, I guess. Whatever you have a revelation.
Hey, who are you?
Someone hates being squall out that. The city inside the citadel is an embarrassment of architectural splendors, strung round and snarled with excess infrastructure, avenues, alleys, loops, bridges, bypasses. The metropolis of Etel de Twive. Etel de Twive, sure. A warm haze clings to the vain curls of buildings in the narrow walk-betweens. Every odor of breeze runs down the broader streets. Etel de Twive, Cottage of Twilight. I like the, whatever that is, the irony of it, maybe. Am I using that word right? Just a little cottage. Hardened grime lines the seams and corners of most things, but sweet smells waft from a nearby plaza. Fruit roasting, pastry baking, flour frying, meats bursting their crusts. Who could you have ever know? Who could you ever know in a town? Who could one ever know in a town so vast? Admittedly, to my eyes, a dream. The city is sparsely peopled for its size, but by no means empty. That guy sells gargoyles, or just makes them? Faces reveal themselves, some clearly curious, others less legible. Well, here, as nowhere else, I could point which lane goes where. You could continue on your own. But that being said, please follow close. There's worse folks to meet than I got, is what your eyes are saying. Revia, sorry, I know but can you,
I smell sun on you, yondrin.
Tatsibona, kill him. Come on, we do not want to be late.
I wanted to try calling me whatever that fucking word was again. Runk.
There is no arriving late. Or early. Time has no universal measure here. You each keep your own clock, your moment and your memory, contained in your mind. But there are whirls in the pattern where the moments of many beings fuse, and I think made to fuse. By design, the never-before ball will be one of these, a convergent event, uniting the present moment of its attendees. It will begin not at an hour, but with the arrival of its guests, and so all will seem to arrive together. A tumble-dog tune whiskers at the light. That's actually kind of nice. It's usually the other way around. The song. Oh, no, I was thinking of your words. The player hugs her instrument, in shade upon an iron balcony. Elfiar, you two rangers tried to wander. Squirrel? There's ghosts out there, Elfiar, beyond the city. Graveless ghosts, reeking of unfed frustration. We couldn't go anywhere for wanting to return. Little fair dude or something.
Cranks.
Could be a mask, I guess.
Screech.
Vika? I understand your concerns, but mind what you called me.
Correct.
Twitch. A shy one. Did Cure have a great many kinds of people? Certainly not this many. You're rangers. Since we met. Careful, Quinn. That's no fishing spear she carries. Arriving in the city, it will be a confusion of sounds and images. To Tia. Glimpses of her trial-tested friends, brave eyes bright over their anxiety, stains of color on a rippling maze of dimension and darkness heaped behind any familiar profile. These memories are stark, powerful memories in some ways. Was that some ways or that many ways? Okay, some ways. They are oblong memories. Tia? They but slightly seem to graze each other. They won't stack well. Separately, they can each be wholly held. And fog shreds of that beautiful voice, hers, then barely listened to, will cling to the branches and bracken of Tia's mind, as she lifts these polished creek stones from the bed of her remembering. The lost and longing way we look ahead and behind, instead of at our current place. There is no deciding the future, so I wish sometimes we would stop making such an effort at it. I wanted to do like you asked, Tia. I'd be a gentle study of your will, your way, even your walk. my walk, but I think perhaps our road is at its end. I think I'm saying I'm breaking up with you. It's harder than I know it should be. Just finding the right lines, the right words, and the poetry or something that I know I want to offer you. It feels like I'm failing in my role, sort of, but Elfia. I think maybe it's meant to be hard. Usually means it's something worthwhile. I'll just say I'd die here before I want to leave your side. Orifel, if you want an end, I won't fight that. But until you say so, I won't fold up my heart or duck my head. I won't creep away. I'll put. So it's either going to be faster and have damage boosties for a little while, or she's going to get whatever those things do. I've already forgotten. I mean, it still doesn't sound like it's bringing her pain, per se. This is probably closer, though.
Yeah, fuck it.
I know how tempting it is to swear something grand. However, love has to go unpromised if it is to stay true. Is that right? It sounds like it could be right. We should go in, though. We are being looked at. Ah. With one nudge, soft as a wish, the last door disappears before them. Into the black hole, but approach the dais last. In our polite society, you approach the rooms and refreshments before cornering your host. We'll know when. Oh, it will be quite obvious. So first enjoy yourselves. Enjoy ourselves, she says. Might as well try. Even if it's just patience you're practicing, it's not a bad thing to work on. Tia's smile lights. She enters the hall like someone born to grace such places, drawing many a curious gaze. The others will file after. The ballroom blossoms with voices and fire. Every shadow-teeming corner hides a face. Currents of perfume, some familiar and others unique, eddy around shoulders and turned heads, pour from sleeves. Party guests mill, most of them still speaking low, and their laughter drifts along with their scents, as they migrate between tables and groups. Not every glance is warm, but there is wonder in their eyes, too. In their eyes, too. A waltz. Teeny mouse bun. There was a mouse bun? Just... You mean the little pet, you mean? Maybe something else. Yeah, I'm not seeing something at least that looks like a mouse bun to me. That's being bun like food. Okay, well, anyway. A waltz. Sweet. Yeah. Yeah, it is. A waltz, sweet and solemn, like the large spirit, fills these wide rooms. Oh, see, so, see, sir, roves among columns and colors the air. rustling through drawers of a heart, ruffling the hair. I recognize this tune, actually. When I close my eyes, lost pink wandering moons are their mirthful cheeks. Dead, darling faces. Would we have been friends, Caleb, if we'd met in in Calm Court? Us? I can envision the pair of us being fast friends. Maybe once we got over feeling threatened by each other. I could see that. Delicacies of competing palates, human and beyond, ride beside each other on herds of well-dressed tables. Some dishes cold, some hot, some oily, some not. Also, Tachibana, you should know about Spirited Away. Do not eat the food. You do not eat the food in the Fey realm. That'll get you stuck there. One odor whips the nose while another seduces. Also, that is exactly the kind of face Tachibana made at the fucking vampire party. Just that whole, what the fuck am I doing here? I will be disappointed if you don't sign the guest book. What's the best bottle here, would you say? I feel like I've earned a fucking drink of some kind. There are many options, but they all sound like Gwirl, so I cannot help you, if you're hoping to be selective. You see, though, now how wide we cast our net. I mean, yeah. Elthiar has revealed certain secrets to the group just before bringing them up the trans-spiral stair at the Citadel's base. I persisted in my disregard, and supposed Glyphrix, too, had no real concerns. But then I saw those grudge-bold ghosts arise, and how the armories forced their mouths over us. Huh? So, the never-before ball... sorry. It was always just a wonderful excuse to gather heroic story characters together in one place. See, we have no real defenses here. Glyphrix's royal guard. That sounds nice, and you can imagine them all tabarded in black and clacking swords together, sweating in the yard. I can certainly imagine them. But there's simply no such thing, nor any semblance of an army, only Gwirls. So a fighting force had to be found or deceived. Fooled into service, whether they have gone to find the rest or whatever. That's deceitful. Yes, thank you. Succinctly put. I suppose an invitation to a ball always did seem strange, even to me. So the guests were being asked to guard this place. You prune too tightly to the buds, my dear. Guests won't be asked to do anything. There's some expectation, perhaps, but they will guard their own lives, and then, oh, how fortunate should those efforts serve doubly to protect the hall or of the host. This just makes Olivia's face hurt more. Oh, Elthiar, it had to happen, I think. Kavon. Your brother is Kavon. The dragon's head perks. Then comes smoothly around. Glyphrix's voice is like a purr or a prayer. It is soft, but is heard, perhaps solely by force of intention. What uncommon eyes are in your head, if they indeed beheld him? The breath of those jaws is water-smelling, with a faint reek of steel. They have... Sunlit Kavon brings summer with him. He's a joyful flyer, a wandering aurora. When he's young, his glorious voice is beloved. He sings more than any of us. He killed everyone who mattered to Revia. That's tough. Make it better. Fuck Revia. Kavon loses his sister first. He does not remember, for finding her sends him into senselessness, anger, but also terror. He dies many times, not in one continuum, but across them all. Fear's what slays dragons, their own fear. It clips the wings from their once free minds, sends them crawling into marshes of blood. The Dragon Monarch of Neverflare reclines in a spot where nearly every scales width of the hall would be visible. My brother never masters his fear. The heights of agony are all he ever achieves. But why should I be made to think of these things? Why should I be forced to walk the path to been and done? It loops back here. Revia do not care now what this one will do to Revia. Revia wants you to feel something like Revia feel. That sounds like an invitation to dance. If I were to accept, I would first know the name of my partner. Just Revia cunning. Honestly, Revia had it in Revia's head. That Revia would just shake this one somehow. And now Revia just feels small and stupid and insignificant. This one becoming on the Revia now, yes? I've grown quite fat, especially in the tail. Shaking me would have been the task for 10 of you. As they've spoken, there's been no change in the general hubbub, the sweeping music. It's as if the whole conversation has happened silently in one keen glance. Life's fragile, Revia, and for all the ill dragons have wrought and will, killing wasn't originally our intention. And by intention I mean invention. No. When she eye prods me that way, I do feel as if I could create the whole concept anew. Me? I was merely reluctant to intrude. Listen to how she speaks. It's so unfashionable. I'm a lady of mountainous sophistication. I am above even such fine things as fashion. Should I apologize? See? No, that I do not see. In any case, I must now take the floor. As all the members of her party coalesce around the dais, Elthiar's betrayal begins to unfold. Take the floor? Why? Stepping towards the center of the hall, she makes a rune of her face that none can read. Is she obeying her own judgment, or acting at an unseen direction of another? For my freedom, crick, crick, I would even see the dragon dead. Thieveline, I invite you to the Twilight City, to the Black Hole, when and where we bide. To the never-before ball come. You are invited, and I shall not lift my bow to harm you. I promise this, and I vow too, Glyphrix shall receive no warning. Click, crick, crick. Along with any I have the power to bring. Promise it. Any you who can you mean? Promise it. All right, then I do so swear, but it depends on my return. Should I find my companions before they are truly lost? If that is your oath, we may call that a deal struck. I should find my... Excuse me. Hiccup. I should find my companions before they're truly lost. If that is your oath, we may call this a deal struck. So it happens this way. Yes, it happens quickly. A rift in place, a lapse in moment, brings him through. The fate I foresaw, it's my handiwork. Sorry. And I am sorry. I never thought I would be the loose lock. Well, that's why there are heroes. True, that is why there are heroes. Thieveline flares his glistening carapace and cries wide with echoing emotion. Invited be, and sate yourself. It's beautiful, though barely comprehensible, the many-timbered voice making harmony with itself. A bardic drone thrums from his body, a noise that grows brain-slittingly sharp if you listen to it. Feast on the throne, thief. Whoosh. Now phantoms pour through the shrinking rift, seeming not so eager to heap upon the dragon, as they are to quench on their pain on the crowded round living. Sometimes I wish I were a flyer instead of a digger. This one obviously not about to pitch in, are you? Is this one? Don't look like that. I'll help. I fight mostly with words these days. But I'll be sure to say some nasty ones. I've saved some truly ilky acerbicisms. How can a dragon take nothing seriously? A great wave of specters washes through before the rift finally seals. But they are met and matched. The general astonishment passes, and minor skirmishes flow outward as forming ghosts meet ranks of mythic partygoers. Okay, so what I'm seeing is that we are indeed fighting literally every type of enemy. Great. There's not enough of them to get through us. I'm not worried. But there are more arriving by the moment. What? Reality is thin here, and the great bard's voice is sheer and strong. Shriek. New portals are actively being cut into the scene, new monsters boiling forth, and behind them, dreadful forgotten shapes stir as if from sleep. Fanged chaos soon pursues the soon-out-bodied defenders in the room's edges. Warlock, sure. Tell me you will be careful here. No oaths, I would insist again, but... If ever there was a time for an oath, this would be it. But you have been a very good guide to me, and I will do as you say. Quelk! Hey, get on its flank! You and I have waded through some muck together, but you have not faced Orufel. You don't understand the sheer heroism it takes for me to interrupt you. It's too close. Keep back. Dwarf. Why? I want to be coddled, honestly, but look behind you. Our fellow guests could probably use some rescuing. Oh, no, you would get on me. They're pretty hard-pressed and getting hemmed in. If we cut them free, though, they will be the ones that'll take Thieveline down. Now yours is the calm ahead and mine the weathery mess. Yes, I cannot hurt Thieveline, I saw it so, but I can do everything else in my power so that you and the rest of your friends will outlive the twilight. They're your friends, too. The Song of Animus, skirling from spectral throats and filling the hall, whirling and resounding, the sound of all resentment unresolved. Thieveline rushes the dais. Glyveric, see the ruin in your dreams of your dreams. My dreams aren't even in your range, little one. It's an unfortunate spin they all take, combatants following the steps of a dance they know too well. Fend off, feint, kill when you can, survive. There will never be another ball like it. Oh, God, my jaw hurts. That was another, 10 to 20 minutes solid of just talking. So we got insight, stoicism, and courage. Okay, bonus stunt chance, good. Bonus armor warding, good. Slightly slowed down of that, but hey. And so a fight, an hour later, yeah. Okay, so we need to kill 8 enemies to free up reinforcements, and it looks like we have to kill Thieveline 3 times, and Glyphrix must survive. When Thieveline's health bar is depleted, a new monster portals open up. He has 3 stages, health bars that must be defeated. Between each stage, you will open another monster portal. Portals spawn monsters for the next 3 turns. Okay. Seems rude, but, Hey, Tachibana, you want to get in on this over here? Didn't expect that to kill you. Okay. Excellent. A stunt. Yeah. I should actually look at what you can do. Alrighty, Hate Song, 11 to 13 damage. Jesus Christ. At the range of 8, Jesus Christ. Knocks back nearby heroes for 4 to 5 damage at a range of 3. That whale of thing will. Desire will fully heal and remove 1 negative status effect twice upon reaching 1 health. When this happens, you'll become invulnerable until the next hero turn and open more enemy portals. Ugh. I'm guessing that means that's the health bar thing he's talking about. Elfiar has promised not to hurt him, so cannot attack him. Cannot be okay. That's the other thing I was looking for was cannot be pinned, stunned, or terrified. We can't. Oh, that's a steel fire lamp anyway. I think we could blind him, but never mind. All right. Well, step 1, axe. Good talk. Step 2, fire. Step 3, fire. Step 1. Dragon has 90 health. He cannot be stunned or stunted again, so we don't have to worry about bonus damage being happening. He's immune to all his statuses, so he can't be poisoned or anything, and he cannot be compelled to move because he's fat and lazy. I could certainly use some reinforcements. But, alright. Interviews, get more fire. Alright, we can't do anything more to him. Oh, hi. Interfuse. Interfuse. Attack. Cool. Could throw moss and hold off on my axes. Poison these two. Oh ho. So throw an axe up at him. Figured it wasn't going to work, but it was worth a try. Moss. Moss. And probably regret not actually moving people. Yeah, a little bit of regret. Rude. That is 8 enemies dead. We should get some reinforcements. And Tia leveled up. Tia, just get more health while we're here. This worm guy looks way too jazzed to be here. They want to open lead. Made up with all Thrixil take 150% damage this turn. Kyla! As the monsters are driven from her flank, a warrior of legend is freed from the fight the bigger battle. Oh, is one of them a warrior of legend? Sweet. So now we have to kill 8 more people to free up, to free up more things. Oh, we also got some Gorals. Neat. Alright, Tachi, yeah, use your wind walk. I understand the risks. I understand the risks. Ah, I can just break. No, I can't break the portal. Fair enough. 3 is dead. Cannot be stunned though, right? Yeah. But we can take a nice healthy swipe. Smack him. Alrighty, so we have defeated 1 health bar. The portal is opened. 5 more enemies to kill. Wait, he is invulnerable at the moment, correct? Yeah. So, I'm gonna still move my fire in onto you. You come down here. Throw Revia here. And now throw Revia over here. Go get in the way in this direction, even though that's probably not going to actually do anything. There's now a portal over in this direction. So, well, we don't really need to withdraw. We can just interfuse on this side. We can withdraw next time because she can withdraw whenever she wants. And instead, destroy you like that. Revia throw axe. Or Revia simply throw poison. But throwing axe is so much more fun. Throw the poison. Throw the poison. Gorgons, and those guys, and those guys. Cool. So Tachibana says... Stab. Tachibana says again, stab. Alrighty, more reinforcements coming in. Surging from a throng of slumping, steam-dormed phantoms, a Draw warrior. You are young to be wearing such wings. The wind and I are by your side for the evening, Lostling. Do not stare, do not stop fighting. Oh hell, we got Pjark with us, that's cool. Fuck yeah, Pjark. Alright, Carla. He's invulnerable. He's invulnerable again, though, isn't he? Yeah. Compel him to move all the way down here. Hi. If only I could compel him again. Wait, Gorl. I Am I just not close enough to move him, or am I not allowed to move him? Cannot be pushed around. But we moved him with compulsion. What exactly does this say? And move a 4 ally. If we step one closer. No, okay. But what if? Go down here. There we go. That'll learn you. Oral. Withdraw from that one, but that's Revia's fight spot. Withdraw from that one. Interfuse with that. Interfuse with the portal itself. Alright, get ready to be screwed over, fuckers. Not that we can get any more people, but, you know. Alrighty, Revia say, God, you're ugly. He is dead. He is dead, and they only have 1 HP, so they will die to poison. We have lost our courage. Things will not die quite so easily now. Fuck you, bear. Squirrel. Ah, yes, in case anyone needs refreshments. The squirrels will do their best to provide. Jostle. Squirrel. We got a new girl. Hi, Ancient Amalgam. And Usric. And the Symbiotic Advisor with a Graphics. You guys are fine. Refreshing beverage. Heals a nearby hero for 3 health. Cool. You're gonna die over there, though, if we don't help you. You're just hanging out down here. Carla. Go help out. Wow, you're terrifying. Just gonna... I can get both of you. That one's easier to do. Squirrel, come down and help. Once again, we can't quite do both. Squirrel, come down and pretend like you can help. Skippy from Squirrel Attendant. You're huge. Yeah, fuck your armor. Big stab means we get to stab you again, bitch. Piark. Help. If you could fight Big Bear, I'll leave that to Tachibana. Go fight the things over here, yes? This one will die, which means Revia gets to stab again. Come here, Gnocchi. Yeah, a lot of big bads going on at the moment. Stab you. That stunt, I believe, means indeed we get to stab again, so goodbye. Attendant cannot help, per se, so just flee this direction so that the enemies don't attack you. Hi, you noticed Tachibana was there this time. You fool. How very confident of you, wearing those piddly horns in my presence. The deepest. I'll take 150 damage this turn. What dorks! I see. That's what's happening. He is mocking them, and then they get self-conscious. So we do more damage. Fun. The Horn Grown-Up. A huge rock-mauling giant comes out of the earth. Murky myth. Shattering stone and table, sending glass. And table, sending glass, food, and liquor everywhere. And also Shadow Hunter, why not? Tachibana. Stab him! Stab him again. Alright. Now start moving. You guys are big and dangerous. Hippity hoppity. I guess because they aren't actually adjacent. Your fire leaf can't be utilized very well. Could have probably done something a little better. Stab him! Good job. Your fire leech, however.
Stab him!
One more health bar. Let's see, so that's going to be a fire to, okay, so to Draven, and a portal to the Morthagia, the two who hadn't shown up yet. Right. Okay, no more horn grown up. But now they're horn children. Quick, flee! Oh no, you're fleeing right into the path of the bad guy if he's gonna actually be able to act. Revia cannot really do much of anything against the big boss, for he... Oh, no, he's fully healed again. Revia will go over here and do all of the damage. Yes. Alright, kill him. Fully powered up. Cannot throw in such a way to help, per se. Who's back there? I don't want to poison you. There we go. No, that Gorl is my friend, though. There we go. And did I also say cannot stab him for some reason, so stab him. Alright, he was also still invulnerable. Hornchild dead. Hornchild dead. We got another attendant. And some darts and stunts and whatnot are there. Some of them as well. But he's only got that one health bar left. I could airlift myself. Well. I guess get yourself in position to be able to start trying to fight them, or to at least draw their attention. You just have some fun walking this way. Tia moves that a fire. Cannot really help though. But what we can do is say, hey, Thievelin, go stand in that fire. Carly, you stopped him from getting into the fire. How could you? Oh, we can delay rifts. Neat. Or we can throw a discus. Get over here and deal with the horn child so that Pjark can go do something else. Nah. Zap. Gorl attendant. Hurry over. You need to soon attend to Tachibana. You can't stab him. So just hang out in the way. There's nothing over there left to shoot. We can shoot these though. Squirrel attendant also help Tachibana instead. Have a beverage. Pjark. I can't really go do anything that way, so, because you are a double wide character. Kill the dart. You fool. Good job, Tia. Pjark, stop getting beat up by your people. Kill them instead. Oh no, more! Tachibana. Fly over with your new attendant friend. Excellent stunt. True, you did. I bet you head down here and stab both of these with your big old swipey paws. Didn't do much because it's lots blocked. I was hoping you would have shredded more, but that's okay, I guess. Beautiful. Squirrel. Bitch. Squirrel. Refreshment. Squirrel. You're going to be less dealt with, so I guess I'll hit you. Squirrel. Alright, Pjark. Failure to smack, fair enough. Arevia, however, is very much in the mood to do some damage. And so Arevia Ferrovimosis. How dare you try to attack my attendants? Oh no, my attendant! Share Cologne. Red Cloak, Glory Sword Clane, the Doorman, the Coachman. I kind of wanted to see, you know, what the other big things could be. Which is why I didn't really do anything about that. Alrighty, Tachibana. Let's get rid of these things. Head on over here. And destroy some more. In danger, 7% chance to take a little bit of damage. Oh my gosh. I'm guessing you counterattack. I didn't bother looking. Oh. You're big. Or we can just kill Thieveline. Tia, you want to do it? Given this has been, you know, so much your story. Thieveline's final collapse is accompanied by terrific silence. Soundless sighs of color are the ghost's going away shapes. His voice, torn, tuneless, is the first sound to score the quiet. It is still lush, it is still bladed, but is a whispered song now. My dear goddess, who to be with you. Once you've entered your forest. Once I entered your forest seeking nothing. Once I left your forest seeking you. For you I wanted. For you I hated. For me, it was for me. Don't you hear? He thinks this is an opera. Come save him before I eat him. Ordway emerges out of Unbeing. At tremendous speed, falling, her coat of hair and feathers making the merest rustle. Ordway, crescent moon, casting deeper than shadows from her great black side, so an observer will think that slender light is all she is. She pulls into the bard's defeated body. Each quill and strand silently whipping, as if caught in its own private tempest. She clasps his ruined armor in her talons, and is gone. Both of them are entirely gone. So there goes your mummy. Hooray! After party. Merekmet. The never-before ball is ended. Don't call her my mommy. Why, I think of her as my cold aunt. I was expecting it too. That was another reason why I was like, yeah, I could just kill him. But that's fine. They're all gone, I guess. My befeathered and betimes admired aunt. Were you scared I'd die? Am I not your successor in all but name? Kitsch. Anyway, now that you have the measure of my companions, imagine my confidence. Yes, you brought me heroes, Elthia, though I can't guess how you charmed them. Oh, speaking of charming, Igar fears the Gwals know something, and says they are not heeding him. And I promised I would say so. I hate that bean-skinned roach. But he does not hurt anyone. You've heard my report now, so that satisfies. Am I allowed to give you a greeting? You? I'm not sure, but I think I haven't outlawed it yet. Then... I thought the proper thing would have been to just literally just say hello. Oh, dragon, great dragon. I am Calum. I wanted to greet you one time, though I admit I feel unfit to do so. Politeness is never out of place or style, Calum, young mighty scion of Cure. The Gwirls, don't know anything, and we're a lot like them. What? You all know we're owed more than this, as far as fucking explanations. Right? Owing is always an improper word. Owed. Something's promised or it's not. Ask a goddess. She'll agree. Let us move this conversation from the mess of this hall to the mess hall. Tachibana, you sound like you have not eaten. Look how suddenly perked up TA is about that. Yeah. If you bring tea, sure. Tachibana doesn't actually wish for a confrontation. She's too tired, and a whole dragon feels like a lot. All now repair to the after party, where they will be faced with a fate of their choosing. You mean the final spot? Just in fucking case. Home turns the heart. Few things sing so sweet as green to the grain-starved heart. Almost feels too soon to be standing here. What? You're not okay, are you? You, need a hug? Yes? I don't think Tia would necessarily ever say no to that. I mean, from Tachibana, at least. Always. Exactly. True. You want me to talk about it now? No, dumb, right? Sorry. She gave me her answer. Answers did not come until after the banquet, in a darker hall and grander still. Disheveled partygoers packed the long tables, which all were bowed from how heavy they were laden. The kind of excess only appropriate in a dream, and Carla is absolutely stoked for it. Constant wonders emerged through conversation as the meal went on. As guests ate, their injuries healed. They smiled to each other, biting down on... I thought that said rump pie at first. On rum pies, not rump pies, nor rumpies. Brandishing unmarred wrists, rubbing newly unbruised eyes. None had died. Someone at one point noticed that. He really was. None had died. I was surprised that Pjark was a potential pull, given she's not actually a playable character. I mean, at least not like you can't put her in your party with a legacy thing. And what a great marvel that was when they considered it. Before retiring, the dragon went round to each guest, slow and with state, sharing words, Then, in perhaps a sole moment all night when not an eye was turned their way, Glyphrix seemingly disappeared. Not long later, Elthiar led her companions away, down 199 steps, to a chamber vast and dark and spare, a lonely kind of dragon's lair.
You actually look fucking tired.
I knew it. I look like I've been splatter-fried by some misguided megalithic Thrixelbard, don't I? Well, better you had not mentioned it. Some of us can be sensitive about our appearance. I'm not sensitive. I'm vain. But she was insistent that I permit you this special audience, because I wished also to hear it. It made me wonder if it was not, in fact, she who was charmed by. I also wanted to hear it, you huge, lazy lizard bat. You lied to me from the start. That massive head, heavy as an oak tree, whips round horribly quick. Thwoosh! And oh, every gaze is reminded then. A dragon is always deciding what dies and doesn't. I don't remember that. You do? Stop being too much. I have foreseen great danger, Elthiar, and I need great answer, and it needs great answer. We planned for the ball, you said this to me. Really? But I think no, you had no premonition. The goddess told you that one of hers, Thieveline, had left the wood seeking your head. She asked to have him back, and you vowed to return him. Flippantly, one can only assume. Is this not correct or close? Are you asking me? But what does she want you to say? Why did she want you to save him? Did you ever consider whether or not he deserved it? You know I'm not someone to quibble over deserving. That's a question bitter creatures clutter their homes with. Does it make you mad? It certainly does not make me laugh. Then that is a rare enough apple for me. From where I stand, and for how much longer I will be standing here, I don't know. You're both liars. Once more, Glyphrix appears indolent. A bored, unblinking stare scrapes across the travelers' faces, applying but the thinnest smear of dragonly attention. In extra layers given to Calum, behind her youthful eyes, there wavers a woman who has lived to old age once already. I am no one worthy of notice, obviously, but I can at least say Tia and Tachibana, it is enough to summon tears. That they came all this way at your invitation, only to be used as shields? Is it not kind of gross? A relentless pause follows, and Calum's echoing declamation, which first bloomed bright and daring, wilts slowly and dies in their ears.
Must have taken a lot of nerve, huh?
Oh, what? No. I did mean it, though. My eyes were watering. Maybe it was from being too scared to blink, but also I want it to be thought, it was because, hey, these good people deserve better. You're lucky. Glyphrix is absolutely different. After they had all stewed long enough in the fraught silence, Elthiar came forward, but Glyphrix halted whatever redress she might have offered with a great exasperated sigh. I have enough control, you know, to see that the guests I invite will reach me. I have that power. I rule this realm, and I'm not busy at nothing. You couldn't have died. I forbade it. Levi does not get what you're getting it, and you're getting it is of no consequence. To me, or to whatever occurs, or how, or why. Do you understand that? How greedy I think you humans are. Always needing to be the comprehenders of what is and what passes. The lens keepers, lore writers, the interpreters of everything and being and happening in your universe. You're greedy. Those who would know the place and order of all things are only eager to be placed above them, don't you think? You're monsters. Guzzlemores. That's a good name. It's a good term. Yes. I know them to be greedy. I walked beside them. They are great aspirers, full of yearning sometimes. Even when they are just a directionless, gut-clenching, when that is just a directionless, a gut-clenching want, even when it's not. And we are not unlike them, especially down here. Desiring makes us powerful, beautiful, dangerous. Even that flowered insect I know, Elthiar. You dense little orc. Ah. That was my whole... you're greedy and clutchy and small, I'd rant. I could have tumbled the coals with my tail. Then, unexpectedly, I'd smile, and that's why I like you. A quiet gasp goes up from all attending, possibly the Gwyrls as well. They know their cues. But you ruined it, Elthiar, as you ruin everything. Ha! Review's face hurt. Then, is there more you could say? You have control, you rule the fucking realm. None of us could have died? Why? If you are so curious, I'll put it in the thicker, truer terms. Do your best with them. There was one version of these events I would ratify. None are killed who are to attend my ball. Such a mandate is possible with the authority of this seat. This kind of governance is old in my bones, but lawmaking is of that breadth. Call it a vast expenditure of a dragon's hoard. I spent on it, and allowed only a miracle fate line to emerge, a destiny as near to perfect as one might ever be. A fate line. Even see Valine, then? Yes, because of your invitation was protected, which is funny. It worked out rather well, the way my efforts tend to. The goddesses pitied took some harsh convincing, but went back to her safety in the end. And yes, I'd sworn he would. The goddesses pitied. So the only one at real risk was you, and you laid there like a sleepy tavern cat. But if you had died, we all would have been thrown into whatever comes with the collapse of your power. Well, I wasn't going to die. Is this what this one meant, Elthiar? When this one said we owe Grifflix everything? Oh, no, that was just... Did she really say that? I have always expressed my gratitude to you. I was simply thinking about the past a lot on this journey. And you were right. I think my path went through deeper than darkness. And it is possible I have not all the way returned from it. Excuse me. Elthiar goes past them, apparently intent on standing by herself. Hey? So anyway, I am relieved now that the exertion is over. But annoyed you had been cornered into admitting it? No, what could bother me? I tricked you into drawing it out of me, I'll say. Now you are all ago, knowing that you have ridden in the purse of a dragon's mouth. You'll be my beholden. However, I do not like that this is the way it was. If it's the way it was. Then there's no need to believe it. You never trusted a dragon's word, did you? It's nothing anyway. You won't tell me it wasn't me fighting those battles. And it doesn't change the efforts we made. Or the choices. Can I get a more direct version of the outcome before I leave? The choices that brought us to end together, so... now what's left is to go home. There's a door prepared. Through the pale and back to the good green world you came from. And even you are torn out of place. You may go too. And if you think that's not a reward enough, well, too bad. That's all I was promised. You were useful to me, and silly enough to accept the invitation to a ridiculous dance somewhere as far as Neverflare. Tia recognized then that there was a plain reason she'd given Tachibana to come here, and she ought to honor that before her senior was forced to broach the subject. I'm gonna say something I shouldn't. It's that we hope to plead for your intervention, where we are from, the Mothagi. You visited Ormery's little wanderer? Snow is in the dragon's voice, feathery, wind-blown and cold. Yeah? Then you should know there's no shortage of moments, times, places, battles. These pieces of all, they are myths to you, but to me they are opportunities through time and story that I might wish or be asked to visit my will upon. But if I were going to do that, first my own, I would save Yildadi. Yildadi? The eldest. Yes, the eldest sister. She is the one Griffrix speaks most of. Yildali, of ice and wisdom. She who lives again. She lives on and on in loneliness. Away from other beings, in the vast black winter, she waters the stars, lamenting the fury of dragons. The sweetest thing about Elthia is how she listens. I will not intercede, and I must not, if all of you if all you know and are is to keep its shape. I know it's bitter soup, but we've just got to fucking swallow it. And that is just about how their audience with the Neverflare's monarch ends. A striking young attendant appears to lead them from this chamber to the promised door. Squirrel. Before they can all follow, Tia, talk with me a moment. Yeah? Don't worry, I will return her to you shortly, and we may say our farewells then. Alright, but if you take too long, I will come looking. Let us find some privacy. There's plenty here. I think, but we will seek our own. Really? How distracting. The others dawdle in a direction they're pointed, taking Tia's, affording the Tia their piece. I think there's an error in there. Elthiar shows her to one nondescript side of the hall. I am sorry, all the muds, the webs, the layered lies I prepared, that you must still be plodding through. A corridor is cut there, too narrow for dragon hips. What you're saying is dragon thick. Dishonesty was not something I had thought much of since becoming the thing I am. What, a scoundrel princess? Please, I want to say, having a face I am lying to has always made me feel differently. Because it's mine. Or, since it is your face, I never worried I won't be believed. Ha, maybe, but I guess that's a sensible way for you to feel. I have become very good at being sensible. But, so, where does this little hallway take us? My bedroom. Come on. We're doing it, Tia. It's happening. black stone, veined in deeper black. The light massages subtleties from the seeming smooth surface of the walls. Something I've never told anyone who was not a little small star clump fallen from space, fragrant of rock, of pleasant flickering oil, and the magic in the founding stones, deep and cold beneath the castle. My sleep never comes without nightmares. Really, you hide it well. They're always of my home, nightmares of that house, my parents. All the very damp, awful details of death and after. I wish that it were fire I was afraid of. That would be easier. I might have conquered that. At passage's end, she pauses. A glow from a room beyond that smells of herbs and cherry wine. I know that I am who holds on to these memories, but it is involuntary. Like a guilty reflex of the hand, even when I had tried to cast them away, I have instead clutched after them and clung on to them. And you can't hear the word home without your nightmares surfacing, awake or sleeping. But you led me up that dark hill. And since that night, this will sound sentimental, but afterwards those bad dreams happen less. It seems they are crowded out sometimes by good ones. And that baffles me. 20 lifetimes or more might have gone by in this body since I thought good dreams were possible. Did she seem afraid of what she'd say? She turned and entered the light of her room. And they both already knew by that point this was to be the end. What made me stop trying? I don't know. I sort of want to know. What made me stop trying? What would Calum have said? She's always got a little unexpected wisdom. Oh, no, I would just be like you, probably. When Revia was in love before, or... Well, no, Revia mean it's in the Revia, so Revia can say it. When Revia was in love before, Revia never out and out told her. She felt strongly for Revia, was what she half confessed one rainy, drunken night. But Revia decided, oh, how perfect, how stoic if Revia wait for the perfect moon. Revia will tell her then. It'll be more meaningful somehow. Revia do not know, but... She was killed, and Revia knew Revia wasted not just her happiness, but hers as well. Yes, so here. You may recognize those aromas from our travels. Black bottle, crimson moss, winebriar stems. I give them all fresh. I have old rose cookies in some drawer. This is where you sleep. When I sleep in the citadel, it is usually in here. And see, I even peppered the walls with glimmer lights, so it looks hideous, and it looks hideously childish to me, now that it's too late to erase them. I feel like I'm in a poem, not a famous one, an okay one, by some unnamed hill painter of long ago. It's called something silly, about a woodland or a waterland, in her glade or stream. Are you fantasizing about someone else? No, I'm sorry, just think about a poem like that. It always ends with parting. You can be quite ridiculous, you know. Well, are you really so happy right now? Once more, Elthiard turns her face. Tia, sometimes things are true even when we wish not to believe them, and I can't go, you know. I no longer, and I can't stay. No, you can't give up everything and everyone else. That is obvious. Oh, sorry, bumped the mic. And who would I be if I allowed you to do that? I guess you'd be someone who wanted me to stay. You just want to roll on the hay, don't you? Is that so wrong? Listen, I know this is all annoying to hear, especially now and from my mouth. But we are of different worlds. You are young, I am ancient. You have not just your friends here, but your parents back home. Actually, Tia's dad's like at her feet, so... I mean, quote-unquote dad. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Please, I hate how dull and serious these lines sound. Don't make me keep saying them. There's nothing that makes Tia stop, except perhaps that moth for moonlight thirst young people sometimes get for martyrdom. She sees the tragedy of this moment in her life, and is impressed by it, and maybe, underneath that, there's a well-buried dread that Elthiar is right. I never truly thought this through when we began. But listen, even if this might be stupid or selfish, and even if we only have a moment... Tia later claims they shared a simple kiss there. Pure and true. That is absolutely not what happened. It's Tia. Tia, you actually got a fucker. Darklit and everything. Exactly. Their faces gold-struck, blood sweltering in the room a teary blur. Yeah, there's no way that's just a pure little kiss. Who would be able to say any different? We spoke. Ah. And now I send you on, my companions. I trust without too many sore feelings. Depends on who you mean. Anyone who knew TX, I was thinking the same thing, yeah. Tia says, yeah, it was just a pure and true kiss. Yeah, bullshit, Tia. We all know you. Anyway, sore feelings are for fucking mornings after. They don't change the times you had. Ah, how nice. Some parting philosophy from Tachibana. Yeah, fuck you too. I apologize as much as I earnestly can, but what you four have endured. But while it was uncomfortable for us all, I cannot truly be sorry. We're gonna fight. I'm not pure. I'm not pure. Knowing you, walking beside you, it was a pleasure. But more, it helped me to reconsider things. Old things. Habits of being, in which I had become too grimly set. And so... Go on and love the twilight. I think it will forever be your hour. Glyphrix sent you off brusquely, but did not send you off with nothing. Or so I do suspect. Just don't forget us, hmm? I won't, even should I wish to. These little matchlight words, goodbyes, were all they could strike up between them in the end. Even at this parting, there was no real bright or lasting thing to say. And so, a short while later, they are gathered there alone, four travelers, gazing down a short and unmistakable path. No guide needed, since the only turn to take is homeward. Unwatched and unaccompanied, at this odd-fitting archway cut into a random wall, deep in the silent fathoms of the castle, their discussion has finally stalled. Their aloneness here begins to feel like the surging of waters trying to push them out, back to places they might better belong. So Tachibana goes suddenly, closing her eyes as she plunges through. As she wasn't before, she is first to the pale. That far door, the only solid shape, fragrant of morning fields. Desire grips her neck then, to be on the other side and touch cool green leaves. Tachibana wishes to touch grass. How is it? I don't know. I want to make an all-out dash, but I'm being good and restraining myself, I guess. Revia's hesitation probably just... Revia's never walked out onto the sea before. You're no fucking rookie. Come on, it's nice here. Arevia screws tight her eyes, then takes a diver's breath. Hup! Before throwing herself over the threshold. She seems mildly surprised to not be crumbling into ash. Whew. See, it's fucking fine. Arevia can smell sun after summer rain. They want to get fucking poetic about it, I guess. We really are returning to life, are we not? Hara said, walk with faith in the storm of your woes, and you shall arrive on my blessed lay. I don't know. I will try it, so I will try it, and I will try. So saying, Calum wades into the white. And Tia stands there, stands at the threshold, making the whole world wait. Stands unmoving. Well then. um... I mean, I'm not taking one. Yeah, I think it's just you have 3 ending choices. I don't think one fits based on what you told me about Tia before, because this has now become a relationship that hurts. Therefore, Tia deciding to stay doesn't make sense. If she changed her mind, would Tia take that one? Yeah. I mean, I can see her just going through with Ever, but the hesitancy I have is like, if she apparently changed her mind, would Tia be like, yes, go for it, or would Tia just plunge for it anyway? Yeah, no, I don't think so. Not for Tia. So yeah, just basically between 2 and 3. I feel like 2 would be fine. But I don't know if Tia, once hurt, is like, no, fuck off. Yeah, that is cool. It is a cool thing. I mean, technically, I did save. I could save yet again. And we can just see both. On the other, it seems that character tried so hard already, and said so clearly no, that while Tia would hesitate and hope for her, seems unlikely to have actually happened. That's fair. That is fair. For her to suddenly jump and change her mind like that. Like, there is a very real part of me sitting here being like, if we choose this, is it just going to not work out? Like, she tries to cross with us and it's just a bad, sad time or something. So what feels most right is what feels most right then, yeah? Yeah. Well, like I said, we can always... This is just picking the quote-unquote official one. But like I said, since we saved at the ending of it, like just right then and also just before it, like we can then just skip all the way to this choice and see the other one afterwards. So we'll pick this one, the bittersweet choice. And then we'll maybe afterwards, depending just how fucking long it is, we can come back and real quick and see what this one looks like. I mean, we could see all three, really, but I'm slightly less interested in this one. Because this one feels like, oh yeah, Tia will say, yes, I'm going to say actually. And Elfiar is going to be like, you're a fucking dumbass. And now she's a Lostling. Great. Woo. It's foolish to answer a riddle for your life when you may only get one guess. And it's cruel to pose a riddle to another that you can't answer yourself. So then we are just going now. But have you expected something else? It'll be for the best. That'll be our work, making sure it is for the best. As Tia just keeps walking, you guys should probably catch up. She's just going. It's okay to decide on being wiser, to let yourself long and fully wonder. You'll be warned by your regrets more often than they burn you. You're gonna keep your bird? It's the land, it's the real world, not the Feywild. Tachibana, what if we don't remember? What if I go through this door and it's like the Moonwatcher, some magic, and I can't even recall her face? This isn't a fucking Player Shepherd's book. You'll remember. You know, yeah, good. That means I could find a way back. All it seems to take is an oath. Huh? Across one creek and one creek bed by night we should reach Tall Tallow, which is a roadhouse. The wind that rises and the aching sound of old trees. Sunshine is as astounding now as Nether Flare's boundless sky, its red and ebon hills. That's another 2 days. So tell Arevia, is there a nice winemaker's daughter? That was always a dream of Arevia's. Good on you, Revia, for also being in character. Davia always wanted to fuck a winemaker's daughter. Get free wine. The good stuff. There are quirks they discover, coming from a place as magical as Netherfallowin. For instance, they hadn't even supposed that Calum was speaking another tongue. Huvin wan Cyrillus, gan Huvin sawan. Acquiring the local language will prove to be a rewarding pursuit for Calum, and she'll call it a safe and decent way to meet world-curious women. In early light, the town roofs will glow gold and pink and crimson. Tachibana, you look all right. Everyone will be relieved. We're just 2 days in ourselves. Evening will pack the tavern, where stories will be traded of the distant deeds of 2 different parties, joined here in jubilation. Nikael! Alessi! Yay! Revia's face doesn't seem to hurt very much. It probably still does, but, dull ache rather than, throbbing pain. It's good to see them, same as they were, but they'll never understand. Which, good. They shouldn't. Love is weird. It wobbles between hurt and happiness. And who can know? I think I know, Elfia. The stars. That was me talking, apparently. The voice that I can't do very well at all. They shine like that because they miss you. You may be lost in exile all your life, or you may learn to be at home in your decisions. That was me now. It takes the sum of your wandering to be where you are each moment. But the whole sky moves in the course of a night's walk. This is how you know a story isn't over. No life decided. No future too dimmed or doomed. Until every sun goes black, every eye closes even to dreaming. Don't give it up, Luffy. The end.
Squirrel.
You won! I won! Bum bum bum. Yay, thank you. Yeah, I won the fucking... The world where the words and stories were all new, that proved endlessly liberating to Calum. Can we imagine? Can we think of setting out again? Yeah, I won an hour ago, and I mean, it was a good story. Just so long. So much talking. Bum, 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 bum. And this is also the end of Wildermyth, because they have... never mind. This changing world will sometimes remind you who is not there changing beside you. But Tia and Elfiar each found joy and were not so hurt remembering. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Oh. I mean, for people who are just reading it in general, like not reading it out loud on a stream, that's fine. It was fine. You know, it was long, but, you know, the big thing is just like it was so long for having to read out loud. Oh. But yeah, this is the devs of Wildermyth have announced a little while back, like the day after I started back up, I think. Revia lived a new life, not erasing her first, but letting it mostly go. Hey, weird stranger, come out of the rain. No, this one come into it. Maybe we'll grow green. But yeah, they had announced that this is the last major update for Wildermyth. There will still be bug fixes and whatnot. And I mean, there are mods that can probably... I know there are mods in general. I'm not sure if there are story mods, but either way, it's... I am not a mod channel, usually. Except for the ones I got in this one. But yeah, no. I did enjoy that. Stories of their journey were met with rapt faces, even in strange hollows. How complicated. Tell it again. Yeah, my bleh aside. Yeah, I enjoyed it because it was a nice, simple roguelike style thing. And it once again makes me wonder what would happen if I were to try to do one that is not the story-based one. But I'm not going to worry about streaming that. This is the whole point of the streams was, one story ends. The whole point of the streams was to, play through the story stuff. Which is why I'm not doing, a legacy random one. Yeah, the game is super fun in and of itself, too. Sorry, Callum, I don't actually care about you. But Tia obviously is going to come into the thing. Just a lot of talky, yeah. Because I mean, it's a simple tactical game in terms of the actual style. Like the gameplay and whatnot. Like I said, way in the beginning of all of this, so long ago, 2 years ago, it was like, oh yeah, that's it's basically like playing a game of 5e, where you have technically 5e is a move action, an action, and a bonus action, rather than two actions and a bonus action. But still, usually one of those actions is going to be, especially given that your most attacks will end your turn. Once you get the abilities, you can be able to do a double attack. Most attacks will, basically you have a move action, an action, and a bonus action. So yeah, that was fun because And the entire time, it has always felt like it feels like if you know how to line up for your character, yeah, a lot of comparisons, and like the entire time too, I feel like when you know how to line up for your character, they can fit pretty dang well. Like if you're trying to make a specific OC, like I did for the whole thing, not always 1-to-1, but never like, oh, that's entirely out of character for that person, you know. I mean, even the flirtations of some of the, like, you know, Revia at times and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, that's Revia. Oh, yeah, good music, yeah, good fun times, and like the whole thing has always felt like I've been engaged with each story, you know, and just being like, it's a good time. It's a good time. Boop. And now we have enough points to bring all three up 1 level. I mean, it's not really up 1 level so much as just updating what Revia has, I guess. So... Shrug? Sure. Promote you. Yeah, that's fine. Tachibana. No longer so fucking old. Promotion. Antia. Brand new to the legacy. Promotion. Elemental weapons we discovered. I don't think we discovered any. But there we go. But yeah, it was... oh, right. No, that's not there. I was about to end it. But it's like, wait, no, that was... supposed to load the story now. That's fine. Just reading the thing is like, you can't. It's been completed. You can't do it again. Skip. So now let's find out what happens if we took path 2, the non-canon path, because we made our choice the first time, and I ain't gonna retcon it. But I do want to know what happens. Maybe we could even check that one if we really wanted to. But I'm getting tired of talking so much. The shock of those words were from what are unmistakably her lips. Kills Tia. The end. Or it seems like it does. I'm sorry that this time I can't take your silence to mean... Elthia, yes, come with me, be with me, and the sun, and the moon, the constellations. You'll come to know them all again. Yes, Elthia, please, it would be such an honor to take you to my world. Will you remember those words, Tia? I hope you will. In the unhoneyed parts of our future. Tia! She's changed her mind. She says she's coming with us. Is that possible, though? Remember her story? Like, she left once before and was fucking dragged back here. But... of course but this'll be different. I am also wondering... Oh, no, but because... Okay, I've thought about this actually. Anyone may go, may find their way, or else is led. That may be true for most, and assuming the lovely crow is right. I've always gone alone. I've travelled as far as Pale's Edge many times. Yet I've never found the step, that final step across it. Do you think I have only needed my own stalwart guide? And perhaps I was so self-certain that I could not see it? Could that be... No. Oh. Excuse me. No, but... After our farewells, it did not take me long to realize I had no wish to be where you were not. So even if that meant, well, it did mean I needed to hurry and propose to my reasoning side a story of how I could mitigate the obvious misgivings I was having. So I tried to arrange things correctly. I did try. And what's that mean? I have made someone a tiny little promise? I may have made someone a tiny little promise. An oath? You want me to witness an oath without puking nails? It should only take effect if Tia does permit me to come along. It's an amusing idea, owed mostly to who's spouting it. I suppose I could do my best, or the best I feel like doing in the hypothetical moment, to argue your case. You must really be sick with a longing, my dear old ranger. How unusual. But, Orufel, I have never thought to stop the goddess, and this won't be the reason I try. I can't guess if she would even listen to me, so be mindful. Never feel too at home. So she promised out loud to the ceiling, basically, in front of the dragon. And why would that not suffice, do you think? What do you two think? What do you two know? If we're lucky, we may still only get 60 years together. How exciting to have years again. But you don't know what price you may have to pay, nor do you. And I have already made my vow. You have already told me, yes, that is done. So are you not curious to see what happens next? Like, what? I might grow old and die alongside you. But I don't want to take your whole life from you. Or what if I crumble to dust the second I step out of this shadow world, Why would that... Althea, why did you do this? For love. Fuck. The trail doesn't bend underfoot. The door doesn't vanish. It's as simple as a stroll in the garden, and they all go together. I really have missed it. Grass under me. Down to the water, squelching my toes in soft river silt. Drying on the sparkle-stone granite. Bearing my ankles to the sun. Bearing my ankles to the sun, oh my. I remember. Across one creek bed. By night we should fucking reach Tall Tallow, which is a roadhouse. The wind rises. Is aching sound of old trees. Sunshine's just starting now, and never flared down. Okay, so yeah, the same panel there. There are quirks they discover, like how she speaks different. And in fact, she isn't the only one who will work to acquire the modern Yandrik. I am trying to say it slowly. Ulgosa, slow more. Say it again. Bird? Right. Or bird. And there's that panel again. Cool, that's still a Lessie. Yes, it's just decided ahead of time then. There they are. Eating pagan, jubilation. And awkward meetings will continue for a while, new relations roughly stitched with shy words. They will eventually grow strong. I am honored to meet you. The stars. Look at the stars. Thank you. I hope this can last. I even hope someday you maybe call this. Words like home can change their meaning. They were quote-unquote kissing again. Foes become friends and fiction turn to fact. Molten deep in the dark of a heart, every unseen thing is fluid. The whole sky moves in the course of the night's walk. And this is how you know a story isn't over. No life decided. No future too dimmed or doomed. Until every sun goes black, every eye closes even to dreaming. The end. You won! Alright, so yeah. That was neat. I would have been cool if she actually did like you said, like become human again instead of a lostling, but it also is understandable if she stayed the same. Yeah, not too bad. A part of me almost likes the bittersweet of the separation ending a little better. But I think a part of that is because, like you said, LCR like was so insistent before about the no of it that it feels a little weird for it to go. It feels a little weird for it to just change. They lived, Tia and Elthiar, life in the sun and the moon and the weather, sometimes in town, but often wandering together over near and distant yanderings. Stars burning through the night. But yeah, I mean, yay, happy ending, but it felt a little weird for her to change her mind like that. Oh, and if it, with a different character than Tia, the first one might have been, a choice that made sense as well. Instead, but we made Tia. So, and both of those would be, the happy ending. I feel like that first one. I mean, I'm not going to look at it like I said, because shrug. I'm tired of talking so much. Yeah, I feel like that one will probably be a little more bittersweet, but good, or outright bad. Who knows? I can't imagine it being an actual bad ending. Just, hey, well, Tia has decided to become a Lostling as well, and oh well, there it is. But yeah, so that in the end, in totality, without doing the ones that are just, random do it, why not ones, the totality of the stories, I should say, that do make more sense. The totality of Wildermyth. It is done. 2 years in the making, and heckin' nice to come back to it. It was a good time. Does mean we are, next time will be a new thing. Not sure if next time is Wednesday or not, though. Mostly because I have an appointment, and I don't know exactly how long that's going to be. I just know it'll make the day... what do you call it? It'll make it start late, one way or the other, almost guaranteed. Just because of the timing of the thing. But we'll see. I get another choice to add her to Legacy if I wanted to, but I don't want to. But neat that I could, if I accidentally didn't click something, or if I changed my mind or whatever, you can still go back, reload a save, and put someone else back into your Legacy. Anyway, so there we have it. There we go. Wildermyth. Yay! We had, what, one fight to do, and that still took us basically 2 hours and 45 minutes. We can pull it back to 2 hours and 40 minutes because of because part of that was doing that second ending that we didn't need to see. But yeah. Fuck. There we go. So yeah, next time will be a new game. Again, whenever next time is, hopefully Wednesday, but again, I don't know. I mean, it entirely depends on both how I feel and the appointment. LOL. But yeah. So thank y'all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the time with Wildermyth. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your evening. And I will see you the next